Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. I'm going to make this quick because it's not even much to say about this other than this is why all the other nations are going to go into captivity. We're going to force our laws, statutes, and commandments on all you nations. We're going to rule you with a rod of iron because this is just madness. This is straight madness. But at the same time, it ain't like it's nothing new. People over in Babylon the Great, America do it all the time. Shit, it's worse over here in America. Now, you can show this same article to anybody over here in America, and they'll look at you crazy. Man or woman, they'll look at you crazy. Oh, hell no, I ain't doing this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, they committing adultery like it's nothing. Or women being whores like it ain't nothing. But 9 times out of 10, they committing adultery. You know, you got OnlyFans, women selling themselves for money, you know, and they get all this, they have all this power, you know, in the sense of Esau Edom had a society catered to them. But then they'll look at this and look down on it. But what you doing is worse. And we ain't advocating for neither one of it. But this is madness. That's why 2/3 of our people are going to be wiped out and have to be reborn in the kingdom. And the rest of you nations, you're gonna experience loss. But the whole nation, the entirety of you heathens will not be wiped out because you're going to be the world's next slaves. So it says community, and this is in India. It says communities where women marry multiple men exist all over the world. They often have one thing in common. It says high in the misty hills of Himachal Pradesh this summer, a wedding drew hundreds of villagers, not for its pomp, but for its rarity. Sunita these names. Kahan stood at the altar, flanked by 2 grooms, and they were brothers, Pradeep and Kapil Niji, as she entered into a kind of a union that held families together in the Himalayan region for centuries. And I'm not going to read all of it. Let me just read this next one, or next 2. In this part of the northern India, polyandry, the practice of a woman marrying multiple men, is known variously, as Jodhidhara or Pandav, Parath, Prada, invoking the legend from the Hindu epic. All right, we're skipping that. The daughter of the king of Panchala, marrying the 5 Pandava brothers. Though polyandry isn't uncommon, particularly in the north, the Neji wedding in the hamlet of Shilat. Anyways, you other nations are going to captivity, man. You other nations, and we changing the names of all this. You ain't gonna have none of these names. You know, these hard to pronounce ass names. We ain't gonna be talking like this in the kingdom of heaven. But like I said, you got women all over Babylon the Great who literally commit adultery and whoredom. You know, and now you seeing marriages with a woman having multiple men. This is just all out of order. Everything is out of order, and we're continually waiting for the Lord to put everything back in order. This is Revelation chapter 2, starting at verse 25. And I'm reading the AMP. Except to hold tightly, I'm going to read verse 25 in the KJV, then 26 in the AMP. Verse 25, KJV, but that which ye have already hold fast till I come. Verse 26, AMP, and he who overcomes the world through believing that Yahushua is the son of Yahweh, and he who keeps my deeds, doing things that please me until the very end, to him I will give authority and power over the nations. What nations? All the heathen nations. He said, you're going to give you authority and power. You're literally going to be, we're going from the bottom of all the nations to the only nation at the very top. Authority and power. And he shall shepherd and rule them with a rod of iron. Shepherd. What is a shepherd? Let's get that. Because we're going to force them to learn our laws, statutes, and commandments. Let me get there. It is. A herdsman, a person who tends and rears sheep. A pastor. It says to give, and I'm going to get straight to the verb, point 2, to give guidance to someone, especially on spiritual matters. Or number 2, to guide or direct in a particular direction. So it says, and he shall shepherd and rule them. So we're going to guide these nations on spiritual matters. We're going to teach them our laws, statutes, and commandments. And it said, rule them with a rod of iron, meaning we're going to do it rigorously. It's not going to be light. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be nice. We're going to rule them harshly. That's what it's going into. Rule them as a rod of iron, as the earthen pots and are broken in pieces, as I have also received authority and power to rule them from my Father. And this is how we going to rule these nations. They're going to literally suffer. They're going to suffer a whole lot. You know, they're going to suffer a lot. They have to, we're going to beat each and every custom that they have out of them. You know, everything that they do, we're going to beat it all out of them. And we're going to force them to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, just like Esau Edom did to us, but on a whole nother level. He's the only nation that's not going to accept it because he can't learn righteousness. He's literally programmed to be wicked. He can't learn righteousness. So after their 1,000 years of captivity, they're just going to be exterminated. But the other nations are going to realize how much better life is. And they're going to rejoice at the fact that they have a chance to live better lifestyles versus how it was under Esau Edom. And I ended on that. This is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Right now, people all over the earth are mourning because of how Esau Edom is ruling the earth. But when the righteous, which is the Israelites, get into power, even after these other nations being ruled by a rod of iron and being forced to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, it said they're going to rejoice because it's going to be a righteous rulership on the earth. It's going to be extremely better than how they're living now. You know, that's what we were created to do, though. We were created to rule the earth in righteousness and teach these other nations how to live righteously. And we're going to judge them. You know, when they go off, because we're going to be gods. We are gods. You know, let me get that. We are gods. This is Psalms 82:6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High. It says most of the ancient rabbis understood the idea of gods referring to judges, but some applied to verse 6 and 7 to the Israelites in Sinai and maintained that they would have become immortal as a result of accepting the law if only they had not committed the sin of the golden calf, which is more than just not committing the sin of the golden calf. But we were created to be immortal, but we failed from the very beginning, starting with Adam. So we needed Yahushua to come and mend the relationship between us and Yahweh and be the and ultimately that's the reason why we're able to come back into the good graces with the Heavenly Father, you know. And he's going to establish that new covenant with us, where we're going to get the laws, statutes, and commandments put in our inward parts. We're going to get new bodies. We're going to literally be gods where we can't die, we can't go off, we can't sin, you know. And everything negative or anything, all the negative aspects of this body, we're not going to ever experience again. But we're going to experience we're still going to experience all the pleasurable things. Like we're still going to be able to eat, still going to be able to sleep, you know, we're still going to be able to have sex, you know, all the pleasurable things of this flesh, we're going to be able to enjoy. And we're going to be able to enjoy the spiritual things of having a new body. You know, by new body, I mean an immortal body. You know, but also being gods, you are a judge. So like it said, I have said, you are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High. And in the AMP, it say, all of you are the sons of the Most High. Both women and men will get new bodies. We're both going to be, you know, immortal, or, you know, have a God body. But women are not going to be goddesses. There's no such thing as a goddess. Only men have the power and authority. But women will have spiritual power too. But it says, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes, which that's the state we're in right now. Dying like all the other nations, like everything else, and we're falling like one of the princes, you know. Everybody dies right now until we're changed. So when that time and that process comes, these other nations, they're literally going to bow down to us because we're God. We're going to be fully established as the gods of the earth. And all this madness that they into and that they do and that our people do, it won't ever happen again. So Lord will, this was the edifying lesson. And on that note, I want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Until next time, shalom.